There are three things that occurred to me when I watched the announcement today. One is that they're entering a very competitive space and somewhat late to the game, with Netflix with a substantial lead, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus going to launch, and Warner Media, as well as CBS All Access and some others. That's a lot of people grasping for money from our pocketbook, and we don't have an endless supply of that. The other thing is it's expensive. Reese Witherspoon, Steven Spielberg, Oprah, and Jennifer Aniston are not cheap. And my sense is Apple is probably overpaying a bit right now in order to get a jump and get a big splash. But at some point, they're going to have to look at the bottom line, and managing all these productions, paying for all the costs of the talent, and overseeing them with a big staff. They become a network production company as well now, is going to be incredibly expensive. So they have a lot of oversight, a lot of staff ahead of them. And finally, it's complicated because a lot of the people that they'll be competing against with Apple TV Plus and the other service are their partners in content distribution. So how do their relationships with CBS, Warner Media, and the other big content companies work out going forward? So I think it's an interesting thing. I'm glad they're doing it. It's great for production companies to have somebody else making really good TV, but I'm a little concerned about how their profit margin will be hit. I look at Netflix's profit margin. Gross margin is 27%. Apple's is 38%. I think that this business will trend more toward the 27 than the 38, and that can hurt their overall profit margin.
Vincent, as John said, there's going to be aspects of this, the TV Plus part in particular, that are expensive for Apple. Therefore, is the Apple TV part the central area to watch various other bits of content in an easy to use way? Is that the more important part?
I think you look at them both in conjunction with each other. And my response I would give would be, long-term strategically, I think if the question is, can Apple be successful? Absolutely, for four reasons. First, I would tell you, Apple is the richest company in the world. $250 billion on hand, $60 billion in net income last year. Second reason, global, 1.4 billion devices worldwide. With regards to that globality, you look at China, it's the #1 app store in China. Also, it represents a quarter of all mobile devices in China. Third, they have a proven track record of selling subscriptions to their own apps as well as third-party apps. And 50 million of them, of that 300 million that are active currently, 50 million of them are for Apple Music, which launched 7 years after Spotify in 2015. And lastly, I would go back to China. They give a hint when they talk about their content being family-friendly. That sounds very much in line with being able to play globally, particularly in China. And the reason why that's important, clearly, is we know the marketplace in China is huge.